battlefield is in the mind.
Yeah, of course it is.
And the funniest thing about fights the mind.
Yeah.
A lot of spiritual fight in the mind. They need to go to church and get clean in their mind by the blood of Jesus.
Yes.
The blood cleans the mind.
Yeah.
And that they don't know that.
No, they don't.
It's a shame.
But I tell you, you know what? I feel I accomplished something here. 3 years ago.
Nice.
No, there's a gentleman in remember I was telling you he was drinking like $250 a weekend? Well, he's got clear eyes today. He said that last week he started thinking about it and he's cutting down. He's still drinking.
Yeah.
But when the babies walk,
Yes.
then they run.
How you doing?
So, hey, how you doing?
Little by little bit.
Yeah, but he looks better, so I feel like I accomplished something. Even one person is better than nothing, right?
That's right. Little by little bit.
That's right, yeah.
But the thing is, people don't know wisdom.
No, you're right.
They in trouble.
Yeah.
They trouble. See, this is God's love.
Yeah, you're
That's God.
Yeah.
That's just the unconditional.
breaking bread. Yeah.
That's unconditional. You give you without, you say nothing.
Yeah.
He loves you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can praise him, you can thank him, you can glorify him.
Yeah.
You feed him.
Absolutely.
Shame.
Yeah.
Mind.
I know. People, people are people. But you're a soldier in the war of spreading the news, and you just keep going. You know.
Because they don't understand this is God.
Yeah. So.
It's God. You gotta give God thanks. God to go.
Yes.
Not man, no people, no fast. God.
Yeah.
He let you breathe, let you talk, let you walk.
I know.
You can walk because he let you walk. You're not in the hospital because he let you. Him is in control of your life. But when your mind is not.
I know. I just yesterday. I was on Channel 11 yesterday. Yes. And matter of fact, I said yesterday was when you breathe right now, somewhere in the world there's somebody taking their last breath. Every time you blink, somebody's closing their eyes for the last time. So why not praise God every day for that? So,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for bread. Thank you God to get a bread.
I know. Anything.
Anything that God can give you, you gotta thank him. The mind is not.
Yeah. But you just keep pushing it.
Oh yeah, I want to let them know the truth.
And I'm going to be here Thanksgiving.
All right.
All right? I'm going to try to walk around and see if I can catch some people.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you in a little bit. Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Can I give you one of these? I'm an addiction recovery coach. I help people that have drug and alcohol addictions, and for free I'll coach you. If you know anybody,
I sure will get it to them.
yeah, here's my business card. And because of the church here, I'm doing it for free. But if you know anybody that has any drug, or even if you know people that are overdosed or something, I'm on TV.
Okay.
So if you ever want to tell your story, I'm on Channel 11. I'm also on YouTube, 150 videos.
Okay.
You can tell your story. You don't have to give your name. You don't even have to go on camera.
Okay.
Okay? All right, thanks. Bye-bye. Well, as you guys heard, the pastor was talking, and it is all about giving to the people, helping people. That's what it really comes down to. So, folks, there's not many people out here on the road today, but I'm going to try my best to spread the news. Good morning. Can I give you one of these, please? I'm an addiction recovery coach. I'm trying to clean the neighborhood up with drugs and alcohol. And for free, that I'm trying to coach people on how to beat it, how to live with it. If you know anyone, I'm also on TV and on YouTube. We do videos. Anytime you have a story, if you know somebody and they constantly overdose, just call me. You don't have to give your name or your face. It's all just to try to help people, okay? Thanks. Hey, how you doing? Can I give you one of these? You drink alcohol or do drugs? No. If you know anybody, call. If you know anybody that drinks too much or does too much this, call me. For free, I help. And I can put you on the camera on TV and talk about it if you know people that drink too much or do too much alcohol, okay? But just call that number. It's help.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. people are different here this morning. But let's see if we can catch some people at this end. Have a good day, guys. Beautiful, crispy day. Well, I see some people down there by the church. So let's see if we can talk to them. See what's going on. Oh, I'm banging against the phone here. It's a very cold day out today. Sunday, October 5th. I just heard yesterday, only 11 more Fridays till Christmas. Unbelievable. Hey, how you doing? Were you able to hand those things out for me? Remember the alcohol addiction and drug addiction?
Oh yes, I stopped. I dropped some off at USA gas station. Handy track. And
perfect. Thank you. Hopefully somebody write if you want a couple more. I'll give you one of my cards too. Sure. It's all for free. And whoever has an addiction, they can end up on TV too. Because I'm on Channel 11 and 150.
I hate paparazzi.
Yeah, well, listen, you don't have to give your face or your name. It's just you can go on audio. But if you know anybody, okay? Thanks a lot.
No problem. Do you need me to give out more pamphlets?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I'm going to be going to my friend's house, so I can drop some more of the trash again.
Okay, thank you so much.
Addicts go there.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. Well, I'm going to shut you off now. Hey, how you doing? Can I just give you a flyer? Thank you. I'm trying to help clean up the streets with alcohol and drugs here, and I'm an addiction recovery coach. And what I'm trying to do is pro bono. It's try to help the neighborhood. If you know anybody who has any addictions whatsoever, I have a method to beat it without even having to go to AA. I'm on Channel 11. I'm also, we have 150 one-hour videos on YouTube. And I'm always looking for people that either want to talk about their own addictions or anything. You don't have to give your name or your face. You just kind of put a dummy picture up and you just talk. But if you're ever interested, because your stories...
Somebody who I'd like to
get the help, yeah.
My best friend's brother, and he roamed these streets as a heroin addict.
Oh, well, definitely. One way to start, if he's too shy to even call me, is if you look down here, you see these two web pages?
Okay.
He can go on there, and all my videos are on there, and there are methods on there, and there are different doctors. These are all people that are willing to help for nothing. And especially, this used to be my stopping ground years ago. I used to drink 10 to 15 shots of vodka, and then I tried going to AA, and AA just didn't work for me. I need to be more actively involved. I'm not sure if you ever had to go to AA for me.
I've gone.
Yeah, and to me it was like you just sit in a circle, kind of. It's the same old, yeah, and you know what? It wasn't enough. I had to get more involved, and I got in contact with a few people. Next thing I knew, I got a director and a producer that contacted me, and we started creating videos on how to help people. That's where I am. So I figured by coming into my old neighborhood is the best place because I know where people are hiding and drinking because I used to do it. I lived on Pagoda, and from this liquor shop to Pagoda, I would drink 10 to 15 shots and just literally throw the bottles into the bushes and stuff because I really thought my wife or nobody would notice, but people know when you're drunk. Believe me, people know. So, but I'm not knocking AA, but my method really works, and it's for nothing. It's just, you know, this is how I help myself is by helping other people. It works. Karma, you know. So if you can, I'd appreciate it, okay?
Absolutely.
Nice meeting you, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Bye-bye. It was helpful. Very helpful. Hey guys, can I give you a pamphlet? A little flyer? Probably not so much for either one of you guys, but if you know anybody has any alcohol or drug problems, have them call me. I give out free help trying to clean the streets up here. There's a lot of alcohol and a lot of drugs going on. This used to be my stomping ground. I live in the Hamptons now, but I used to drink like you wouldn't believe here. And I found a new method other than AA and how to help people. And that's pretty much just doing what I'm doing. Is if you go and talk to people about drugs and alcohol, people will listen because they see a real face and a real person behind it. AA is out of a book. You guys go to school, right? How much do you learn out of a book than you learn by doing constantly? And by going out, I'll give you one of my cards. And I'm doing this for free. So it's nothing to gain other than self-satisfaction for me to help people, okay? So spread the word for me, all right? Thanks, guys. Thank you, and have a great day. Well, they really do. They really do, especially for the younger people, because people like my age, we're already halfway over the hill. But it's you young people, so. But I appreciate you guys helping. Thanks. Bye-bye. You too. Can I give you one of these? Hi, I'm trying to help clean up the streets from drugs and alcohol in the neighborhood. I'm an addiction recovery coach. If you know anybody that has any issues, if you can just have them call me.
I don't have to call you. I can tell you now.
Okay. You don't have anybody, or you do?
Plenty.
Okay, well, here.
Keep it quiet.
No, I will.
No, I don't have to call you.
Oh, you don't want to call me? Okay, all right.
I can tell you now.
Okay.
You walk the very street.
Oh, what street? Yeah, yeah. Wellwood? Okay. I'm a coach. I'm not here to get. I used to be an alcoholic. I'm here to try to help people. I'm not trying to hurt people.
No, it's not my son, but he's plenty people
Around there, yeah. Okay. Well, that
never goes like this, but now
I know it's terrible.
Sorry. I feel sorry.
Yeah.
You know, they have only one son, and I don't want to tell people the name. So
Okay. You don't want to keep this? Okay. Have a good day. Bye bye. Bye. Okay. That's okay. Thank you. Here I go down this way. Thanks, Pat. Well, as you can tell, that last lady, she was a little nervous talking to me. Don't know why. Maybe she thought I was the cop. But hey, how you doing? Good. Can I give you one of these? I'm an addiction recovery coach. Anybody that has alcohol
I'm
or
going to
drug?
take a post.
Oh, okay.
I haven't drank since January 17th.
Well, good for you. If you know anyone that you think has addiction issues for free, I'm doing pro bono work here in Mastic Beach.
Okay.
Have them call me. I have a method how to beat addiction and live with it without even having to go to
I'm
AA.
going to CK post for January 17th.
This year?
Yeah.
And how long you been clean now?
Since January 17th.
Wow. Do you miss it?
No.
No, but isn't it nice to wake up in the morning and not have those blackouts, the hangovers?
Yeah, I don't.
But
there ain't nothing I miss about it.
No, I could go into a liquor shop and I still like have those thoughts, but I know my other half of me, which is the God side of me, says no. But
Yeah, well, you know what? The thoughts you're always going to have.
Yeah, the
Because
cravings.
They weren't all bad times.
no, they weren't. Right.
So they weren't all bad
From what I
times.
remember.
It's just that I know if I was to have one,
That's
I'm
it.
back right over where
I
I
used to
started.
do 15 shots of vodka a day
I
from
did
there
that-
to
I was in
Pagoda.
that hall, and I did 32 shots in 2 hours. That thing.
Wow, you must have been just as bad as me, if not worse. Well, look, here's the good thing. You're walking, you're still alive.
Yeah,
Good for you. Thanks. Spread the word. Oh, that's your mom, Pat? My mom and your mom are good friends. Yep. Pat, there's your son. Okay. Let's see. That was Pat's son. You guys probably heard Pat many a times. Sorry about the noise, but we have a bus in the background. I am going to turn around. Let me see if I can. Morning, guys. Can I leave a couple of these here for your customers about addiction, how we can help with any drug, alcohol, clean the streets up? All right? Thanks a lot. There he is. Huh? Yes. Listen, little bit is better than too much. You know, babies have to crawl before they can run. So you do a little bit, and then maybe eventually.
Tolerate little by little.
Yes.
One time you can do.
Maybe now it's only $100 a weekend instead of $200.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but at least you're doing better and you look better. When I saw you that first time, your eyes were red. Today you look better. That's right. And you know that there's nothing wrong with drinking a little bit as long as you can control it. See, if I have a little bit, I have to drink everything. I have no control, so I don't drink nothing. But you might have control. That's okay then. That's right. So you enjoy yourself. And you're famous because remember I taped it and I put on audio. And people, they don't know your name, they don't know who you are, but people hear it and they learn from it. Enjoy. How you doing? How are you? Good. Yeah, I'm going to give you one of these. Thank you. I'm a recovery coach for addiction. I'm trying to clean the streets up for alcohol and drugs. If you know anybody, by all means, give me a call. It's all for free. Yeah, that's right. It's all for free, all right? Thanks. I'm going to get a soda. You want anything? Busy day today here. I've had like 6 interviews. Yeah, that was Pat's son. He used to do 22 shots in 2 hours. Yeah. At this bar, when that bar was on, 22 shots in 2 hours. That's how bad. He's been sober since January. And you remember my friend that drinks $200 a weekend? Look at how clean he looks today. He said he's only drinking a little since he met me. Yeah, it's working. Have you seen an increase also in the neighborhood of drugs and alcohol? Because we're trying to clean it up. I've noticed it in the last couple of years. I used to be one of them. I used to walk from the liquor shop to my home before I moved on Pagoda and drink 15 shots of vodka a day. So I know. That's why I come back to the stomping ground. But we're trying to clean it up, but it's hard. People, you know, we've been there, right? We know until you're ready. So Pat, this is your son. Good for him. Yeah, you do look alike.
Yes.
And you're a couple years older than him. He's 54.
And when I look at him,
you're 1 year. I'm going to be 52 this month.
He looks like his dad.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, yes.
That's good.
Oh, yes.
I was telling him,
God bless
you and my mother are friends for many years.
Yes, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
About the same age, too. She's 75. You're
I'm 74.
74.
I'll be 75 soon.
She'll be 75 this November 15th.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so
I gotta wait till March.
well, you're a youngster still. My aunt who lives in our house in Pagoda, she's going to be 91. She's still living. 91. Yeah.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, you know, since I changed myself with the alcohol, I think I'm going to be around a lot longer.
He don't drink no more.
I know, he was telling me.
Stop smoking.
Yeah, but you know what? Baby steps. Everything is, because if you get rid of too much, that's how you fall back into it.
Yeah.
You got to do a little bit at a time. Hi, how are you?
know anybody's getting rid of a bike? He has to go to work tomorrow and he needs a bike.
Did you Getting rid of one? I did, and it's gone already.
Yeah, I went to Frankie Jacobs. He just sold three of them. Right out.
Did you ask him? Aren't you friends with the thrift shop guy? No, right?
I already asked him. I don't have any.
Oh, okay. There he is. Hey.
Yes, Paul. My Paul is cold.
Yeah, I wish I had a bike for you. I really don't. Hey, how you doing, Cookie? Good. Back on the streets? Yeah, I'm still doing my talking to people. So yeah. Since I saw you last time, I came up with a new flyer. I'll give it to you. This one says it all.
Oh, nice.
You have a fork in the road, either addiction or recovery.
Very good. Wow.
I'm going to be leaving in about a half an hour. You want to speak to me in a couple minutes? All right, all right. Yeah, you're welcome. And you know, I got a lot of feedback on that audio because it went live. Not live, but I put it on with you and 6 other people. But a lot of people said they're real people with real stories, and nobody knows who. There's no face. There's no face. There's no address, no nothing. But it's your story that helps, though. Thank you so much. Where do you have to go?
I gotta go Brentwood to Hop Hog.
Oh, wow.
So I can't buy something that's like real.
He doesn't have any bikes?
No.
None.
Well, I want a 10-speed. I want something that's fast.
Yeah, the bicycle store guy will be open tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be at work tomorrow if I get a bike.
Wow. The only other place to look would be like Craigslist.
Yeah, that's what I should have did. That's what my boss did yesterday. Where is that?
I have my tablet here that has online. You can use it while I'm walking the streets. Do you want to look?
Yeah.
Let me go get it.
Got one.
You're welcome. Hold on 1 second. That's Pat's son. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let me get it. Go to Shade, and I'll get it online for you. Settings. Go to Verizon. Hard to see here. Okay, let's try it again. Settings, and go to data usage. We're going to turn it on, and I'll get you to Google, and then you know how to do the rest, right?
Yeah.
Google. They have a program that's free on there. People giving stuff away, and then, or you can just go directly and buy. But I would look at the free section first. Hold on, it's going to be up in a second. Yeah. Let's see, free. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get a bike for free, but let's go to, hold on. Let's go to bikes. Bicycle. Take a look there. You know how to scroll up and down, right?
Yeah.
Wow,
Hey,
God bless you.
good.
And you have like a program?
Well, I used to be an alcoholic. I still am, but now I've learned to live with it.
Okay.
But I used to go to AA, and I felt it didn't work for me. So I came up with my own method, which is hands-on. If you go out and you witness, it's like being a pastor.
Okay.
You believe you nurture through God by helping others, and that's what my program is. In other words, I provide you videos, I provide methods on how to beat alcohol and drug addiction.
Okay.
But all it is mind over matter, and that's all it is. But
do you have a housing?
no.
Not right now.
No.
Let me get one of your.
Yeah, let me
I
give
run
you-
into a lot of people.
If you go on either one of my websites,
Okay.
you'll see everything that we're doing. Here's some help cards.
Okay.
They can call me. And for the pastor, I said, well, I'm here the next 10 weeks.
Okay.
For anyone that's related to the church or even people walking around, I'm going to do it at no charge for them.
Okay, then I do a program. Recovery Christ meetings on Mondays.
Oh, okay.
4:30 here.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so
Would you like me to come and speak one time?
Yeah, I would. I gotta go pick up somebody right now.
Yeah.
But I want to get back with you. I want to
Call
call
me,
me.
because I can also bring a video that we can put on your TV and they can all watch it.
Okay.
That'd be the
All
best.
right. Okay.
Take it up.
I'll be in touch with you.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk around, okay? Hello. I don't know if I gave you one of these last week already. It's trying to clean up the streets with drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
I'm an addiction recovery coach at no charge. I'm trying to help people beat their addiction, work with it. It's an alternative to AA.
Okay, so
Yeah, so give that to them, and I really appreciate it. And
Let's drop them off at Manchester.
oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm on channel 11, and we have over 150 episodes already. We do interviews. You don't have to go on camera. You can just tell your story. So anytime you want, just call me. Thanks. Hi, how you doing? Can I give you a flyer, please?
Sure.
I'm an addiction recovery coach for no charge. I'm trying to clean up the streets here, help people with drug and alcohol addiction. So if you know anyone, including yourself, you get in contact with me. Thanks. How you doing with that? Any luck?
Where they are first, I'm just going over in first.
Okay, let me try to do something here for you. Let's see.
Hey, you know what? You get a bike? A 10-speed bike?
Oh,
Bike.
how about a mountain bike? Mountain bike will work.
Yeah, but mountain bikes take too much energy. I gotta go from Brentwood to fucking Walk.
There's no buses, huh?
Not that early.
I'm checking Craigslist for you, but
Are you doing anything today?
I gotta go feed my dogs. I got my wash. I gotta hook up this oil tank.
Leo wanted you to come. He told me if I see anything, because he wants you to do the job.
Okay.
Okay?
oh,
Hold on.
what was that all about?
The white truck pulled out. Didn't even watch. Just
Wow.
pulled out. Sideswiped it.
So I told you, right?
You don't think a mountain bike will do it? No.
No. Too much work. I'll get to work and I'll be out of breath. Shot. Put 10 speed.
Yeah, that's on. There's plenty of them, but they're expensive. That guy has nothing now. This is not going to help you. Oh, well.
I know when I got 3 buses to get back, so it's like I don't have time to.
Right.
I have to have it because I'm a CK post. Like I told you, it's either get a bike today or you're unemployed.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to think of my home. A bike around here. The bike store is closed over there. He always has cheap used bikes.
Paul?
Yeah, but he's closed. Unless you can get his phone number from somewhere, but I wish I could.
That's all right. I'll just come back to Brentwood. I'll find something.
If I do know of anything, I'll let Pat know to
Somebody
get in contact.
told me to go to a drug shot on Fifth Avenue. But when the bus went by there, when it's Sunday, they were closed, and I know it was early, but I wasn't going to get off the bus.
Yeah.
And then wait and find out that they were closed and they had to kick because then I missed them. That would take
Exactly.
another hour out of my time, so
Exactly.
if I seen it open, I'd get off, but I didn't.
Right,
So
right.
I ended up here. I have my friends. I grew up here. Yeah, like I said, the one he just sold 3 bikes for $5 each.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny, his wife works in Pilgrim State. She's like, I've been there 30 years. You didn't know I was there.
Well, let's hope you can find something.
I need it today.
I'll let Pat know if I see something. See that accident? Did I give you one of these already? Maybe last week? I'm an addiction recovery coach. Pro bono, every Sunday I come down here for an hour. Anyone that you know that might have addiction issues with drugs or alcohol, I'm trying to help clean the streets, they can call me. And I'll give them a couple hours free coaching. And we try to do it through Channel 11. And
maybe you should talk to my sister.
you're who? Give her the phone number. There's a website. If she goes on there, she'll get a lot of educational tools that every day I do an hour show. Every day.
And she's been through seafood, rice. Doing good. She's walking up again.
What is she doing? Drugs?
Yeah. Smoking correct.
And how is she afforded? Does she have ways? I mean, because one of my shows was
her
about,
boyfriend all
I
the
was
time.
just going to say, one of my shows was about stealing, just to
She
provide
takes her
her.
boyfriend's credit cards. She'll go to PC Riches, buy all this electronic shit, sell it to her drug dealers.
Were you a Marine?
Yeah.
Oh, reminds me, because I used to wear that hat. I used to be a Marine. But,
My stepson promoted.
oh, good. But
My other son wants to go in.
let him. It's funny because one of my shows was just what you just said. People will do whatever it takes. They'll rob you blind.
Well, she robbed me the other night.
Did she? Try to
I
get
got
her
up
to see.
off my bed and I had money there, a couple of dollars.
It was gone.
It was gone. It's not the first time she's done it to me.
Yeah. But she needs help. She needs help. But you know what? You can sit there and lecture people all you want, unless they're willing to get the help. It's never gonna happen. I know. I used to be an alcoholic. People usually say that when they feel bad. When they feel bad, and then the next day they want their fill again. I used to go walk from that liquor shop to my house on Pagoda before we moved and do 15 shots just in the one walk. About there.
Well, down here, you got a lot of your druggies.
Yeah, I know. I figure since then my wife and I, we moved to the Hamptons, but I come down here every Sunday to try to help to clean up the streets. But I can only do what people allow me to do.
The thing is, if they don't want help,
That's right. But let her know to look at my website and stuff and call me, okay? Thanks. Hey guys, can I give you one of these? I'm an addiction recovery coach, people doing drugs and alcohol.
I got 15 years old.
Oh, good for you. Through
October
AA?
13th.
Through
I
AA?
went through Phoenix House.
Oh, good for you. Well, if you know anyone, let me know. I do interviews for Channel 11, and it's all for free. I don't charge anybody to try to help them. It's an alternative to AA, and it's really all comes down to just having a right action plan on how to do your addiction and living sobriety. But I appreciate it. If you have any stories, call me. You don't have to go on camera. What we'll do is just do an audio, and you'll be on TV then, just with your story. Because your story means something to someone out there.
October 13th is 15 years.
Good for you.
On which way?
Good for you. Keep it going like that, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Wow, 15 years sober. Imagine that. That is really unbelievable, actually, when you think about it, folks. Can you imagine 15 years, and here he is on the church line getting bread? It's all what it is. Well, it looks like it's pretty much coming to the end because the people are going into the church now. But I'm sure we got some real stories from real people today. And those stories are the stories that count. I can sit in front of a camera and talk all I want, folks. But the stories is what counts. So I'm going to head back, and we're going to call it a day today. But know this, folks. Every Sunday, Mastic Beach, Neighborhood Road, between 11 and 12, I will be out here walking the streets that I used to utilize as my drinking grounds to provide people with the help that they so desperately need. Maybe they don't want, but they need. And of those people, if they could just open their hearts and open their mind, I will be here to help them. I'll be here next Sunday again. Mastic Beach, New York, Neighborhood Road. And I will continue testifying that there is life without alcohol. There is life without drugs. And if you include your God, there's life with you without the drugs and alcohol. There's a perfect life for you. And you'll see many things happen. Anyway, let's cut this off then.
Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back. Today, September 4th, it's about 3:30 in the morning. I just want to share with everyone something this morning. I saw a demonstration maybe about a month ago in reference to our dark side and the power of prayer. If you continuously pray over and over and over again, things will eventually become clear. Although a lot of times when we pray to God, we don't get answers right away. But if you continuously pray over and over, things become clear. So the demonstration involves this bottle, and if you see, the inside of this bottle is all dark liquid. That represents our dark side. And this cap represents our limitations. So we as a human, which is the bottle, have limitations, which is this cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bottle into the sink and we're going to do a demonstration. So let me put that there. I'm going to turn the camera around so that everybody can see it. And hopefully you folks can all see it now. Okay, so you see the bottle. I'm going to turn the water on. Okay, so now everything inside is dark, which represents our body and our inside. And what I'm going to do, and this clear water represents our prayer. So you see the continuous water running. I'm going to now, as the prayer, as we're praying, I'm going to lift our limitations, which is the cap. And we're going to slowly add our prayer to this. We all go through dark times. I mean, I've had some dark years. I just didn't understand everything that was happening. I'm going to admit it that I'm not a super patient person. I tend to want answers right away and know what's happening and what I can do to solve it. I don't like not being happy and confident about things. It's just not who I am. But when I get down, it takes a lot for me to get back up. If we pray for a sign, which is this, the water is prayer, but just give up because we feel like God's already heard our prayer and He knows what we need, but He hasn't answered. It's kind of like when we were kids in the toy store and we kept asking our mom and dad for toys, but we never got any results. Yeah, it never worked for me either, but you get what I mean. Anyway, that is exactly what's happened to me in the past years. I have prayed and prayed and prayed, but haven't really gotten any results. The answer I thought God would give me, and especially in the time of frame, I thought my problems would be fixed, which was all before 2013. Then in 2013, my cap of limitations was lifted. This is the cap, remember this now, was lifted off the bottle, which is my body. Here is where I will just show you how that worked for me. So basically we all have dark sides, which is what's in the bottle, was in the bottle. We are facing, and we take the limitations off our mind, which was the cap I lifted. Don't limit what He can do, because we have to just trust in the Lord. That sometimes even after we pray and we just give up, and it is often why we get defeated. However, even though nothing has really changed, we just keep praying. That's the prayer, the sign of the prayer, the flowing Lord. Just keep praying and never ever give up praying. And if we do that and devote ourselves completely to the Lord, He will pull us through. The dark times will go away, and we just have to be patient. I know it's hard. Being patient truly is a virtue. But by never ever giving up on prayer, it's going to show you that God will eventually answer all your prayer. And the more we pray, which is this water going into the bottle, one day everything will become clear. You see how clear this is now? That is the power of prayer. Folks, I think that demonstration says it all. If we had a bottle which represents our body, and the bottle, everything was dark on the inside, and the water coming out of the faucet represents the prayer, day after day after day, just keeps adding to the darkness which was in the bottle. Eventually all that prayer has to turn what was dark inside this bottle, which is our body, has to change and become as clear as this water in here. That, folks, is the power of prayer. Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs, and welcome to Take Your Life Back. Today we're going to understand the 3 phases of recovery. Remember, everything we always talk about requires an action plan. Even your recovery has an action plan. An action plan is how you pre-plan what is going to happen next to succeed in achieving your goal. Remember, action plan, goal, achievement. Those are how we do anything in life. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about understand the 3 phases of recovery. But first, as always, I'm going to shout out to Dr. Luis Gonzalez at startingpointmn.com. That's STANTINGPOINTMN.com. Dr. Luis Gonzalez concentrates on 2 separate issues with structures in his program. The first is to make you an addiction recovery coach. If you possess passion, personality, and professionalism, and you have some addiction in your background, whether it be your own or helping someone else, he will try to help you become an addiction recovery coach with his educational program. He was my mentor, and that's exactly what I do now. I am a master addiction recovery coach. It has helped me with dealing with people that have addiction so I can speak to them and understand and listen better. It has also helped me with my videos, how to speak to you, how to proceed with giving you the information that you need to educate yourself so you have an action plan, so you know the 3 phases of recovery. The other side of his business is to help you walk from addiction to recovery 24 hours at a time, day by day. Like myself, he never ever talks about your past. We concentrate on today, today's 24 hours, and then we concentrate on thereafter. He is not a counselor, he is not a therapist, nor am I. What we are is addiction recovery coaches, and what we do is walk you from your addiction to recovery. So you can call Dr. Luis Gonzalez at 844-414-8444. You can also find him at staringpointmn.com. That's Dr. Luis Gonzalez at startingpointmn.com. You can also go to either one of my websites. The first one is clearviews.info. That's CLEARVIEWS.info. What you will find on clearviews.info is information on how to live with addiction, how to find out if someone you suspect possibly in your own family or loved one with an addiction. It is purely a website for information on addiction and recovery. There are doctors, psychologists, and psychiatrists that have written articles, that have posted different things. I have put all that onto my website, including approximately 150 videos of my own testimony to you. I try to do a video each and every day, except for Thursdays when I do Throwback Thursday, and on Sundays I do a spiritual lift me up video for Sunday and family time. Other than that, each and every day on an average 1-hour video for you to educate yourself, for you to pass on to a loved one. On the other side, just like Dr. Luis Gonzalez, I have www.clearreform.com. Now, Clear Reform is a website purely based on me helping you walk from your addiction to your recovery. Again, like Dr. Luis Gonzalez, I don't talk about the past. I work on today, 24 hours at a time, and then we work on the future from there on. So you have Clear Reform and clearviews.info. You notice both of my websites start with the word clear. What CLEAR stands for is Community Lessons Empower Addiction Recovery. I came up with that term as I was sitting about a month after hitting rock bottom in 2013, and I started feeling clear in my body and feeling clear in my head. And I thought to myself, what word, if I want to utilize clear, what meaning can I give to this word clear to create a website? So I came with C for community, L for lessons, E for empower, A for addiction, and R for recovery. CLEAR stands for Community Lessons Empower Addiction Recovery. We, you and me, and the whole audience as a community, we all have lessons that empower us with our addiction recovery. We need to work with each other, we need to help each other, and what we need to do is spread the news about addiction recovery. So those are my 2 websites. You can reach me at 844-405-HELP. You can text me 24/7 at 631-599-0218. And you can also email me at CLEARREFORM clearreform@yahoo.com. That's Clear Reform. You can also find me on Facebook now. We have an open group called Clear Reform with about 240 members now. We also have two pages, clearviews.info page. Please do like it if you go on there on Facebook. And we have Clear Reform page. Please also like that one when you go on there, if you like it, of course. You can find us on Twitter, Google, Yahoo, Dig, Dogpile, many other places. But it all starts here, right now, with today's instructions on understanding 3 phases of recovery. These 3 phases will help you take your life back. This information came directly from the CDC, as usual. Recovery is a lifelong process. It is not something you simply go through and then complete. Instead, recovery must be viewed as a progressive course of action. Although there are a variety of ways to approach addiction recovery, it may be helpful to view the process in the 3 separate stages. Each stage offers opportunities for growth and unique goals, as well as potential pitfalls. Using this particular lens to view recovery will allow you to focus on your recovery 1 phase at a time. Now, in these phases, you should not jump from phase 1 to 3, 3 to 2. Follow exactly these 3 phases and you will succeed in your addiction recovery. Phase 1. While you are in your first phase of recovery, your primary goal is to abstain from drugs, alcohol, or any other chemicals. This phase will typically begin with some sort of detoxification process, which is the hardest thing in the world, and you will find that out if today, October 8th, is your first day. The detoxification, otherwise known as the down syndrome, downtime, I should say. In other words, you're not utilizing any drugs, any alcohol, does become very challenging in probably the first week. The first 2 days, of course, are the most critical. While you may attempt to detox on your own, you may be safer if you approach it from an inpatient process where you will be able to receive a medical assistance. It all depends on how bad your usage is and how strong you are. During this phase, you will spend time in either an inpatient or outpatient rehabilitation center. You must understand the basics of addiction and its effects, particularly as it relates to you. Feelings, emotions, stresses, and a variety of other behaviors may prompt your addiction. You will need to learn your triggers, I call them stressors, so you know how to handle these situations as you move into the stages of recovery. While you are in the midst of this phase, your greatest risk of having a relapse may be due to the lack of developing strong social recovery skills. A lot of things depends on you succeeding through phase 1. Of course, it is your mind. You need to have a strong mind, knowing that you have finally come to a point in your life where enough is enough. You need to surround yourself with the proper people, the right people, people that are not, of course, utilizing drugs and alcohol is certainly a good step to start. You need to also, if you feel that you have a situation where you need supervision, you need to go through an inpatient type of rehabilitation. Outpatient is okay if you can control being at home and not having that as a trigger or a stressor. In other words, you're around alcohol when nobody's around and you start drinking again, that will cause you to relapse, of course, and the same goes with the drugs. So these are things you need to be aware of, and that was phase 1. Let's go right to phase 2. This is called the middle recovery. Many individuals assume once they get clean, they will be able to live a sober life. Unfortunately, getting clean is only stage 1 of recovery, which I call early recovery. The second phase, middle recovery, is actually learning to live sober. So 1 is where you cleaned your, I'll call it clean your act up. Now it's to stay clean. It's like a body. When you take a shower, you can clean your body with soap initially. But as time goes on, you're going to need to re-clean that body with soap again and re-clean and etc., etc. It's pattern. So this phase will teach you how to stay clean. The phase is about understanding the balance between healthy living, sobriety, and enjoying life. During middle recovery, your primary goal will be to live that balanced lifestyle. We always talk about balanced human being. Part of that balance is learning how to face and handle stresses in your life while still remaining clean and sober. And folks, you will run into stresses daily. There's no such thing as a stress-free life. Triggers and stresses will surround you. It is now the time during this middle recovery that you will have to learn how to deal with them. And certainly one way to deal with them is not to consume any alcohol or drugs. Through this phase, you will benefit from continuing regular counseling or group sessions, or as I choose to call it, continual education. Remember the analogy I gave you folks yesterday. A person on a new job will not become better just by reading a book. Do you know how when you first start a new job, they tell you to read this pamphlet, this manual? This person on a new job will become better at their job by doing on-the-job training, over and over, repetition. And the same goes with recovery. The more you educate yourself, the more you do, the more you go out and you help other people, that will make you a stronger person in recovery. You will also spend time preparing relationships with friends and family that may be damaged while you were battling addiction. Folks, along the way of your addiction pattern, you might have hurt a person here and there. It is up to you now, and I want to just stress this, you need to proceed with caution, because you don't want to open up an old wound and start all over again, but you need to try to fix what was broken. Additionally, you will work to re-enter society as a productive and positive citizen. And you know, productive is very important, but you need to be positive. Everything comes down to the sunshine, which equals positive results. One of the main causes of relapses you will need to do to be most aware of during this phase is managing relationships. During your time where whether it was a month, it was a year, it was your whole life, except for maybe your childhood life, you've been an alcoholic, you probably have damaged a lot of relationships. And your most last relationship, if you're still in that relationship, is the most important one to fix. We have now discussed the early recovery, which is phase 1, and we're going to recap it in a little while. We discussed the middle recovery, which is phase 2. Let's talk about the later recovery, which is phase 3. This is easily the most overlooked phase, but it is just as critical as the first 2 phases themselves. During this time, your primary goal is clean, healthy, satisfied living, arriving at a place in life where you feel completely free and peaceful and have a true enjoyment of life. You may find yourself moving to a place where you rely on counseling and group sessions at less frequent levels. Don't become over cocky. Every day, at least, because you folks only get to see me do this 1-hour video, but it takes preparation before and after. I spend at least 4 hours a day battling my addiction with educational tools such as these videos, such as getting the material ready for it, such as continue afterwards to produce and to edit and all that. So it does take about 4 to 5 hours a day. Additionally, you will continue tackling family, work, and other issues with a clean head, or as I would call it, a clear head. You will be able to identify potential behaviors and triggers well before they become temptation or an issue. Relapse will still be a potential problem, as it always will be. However, your largest relapse concern will now be from unresolved issues or avoidance of impending lifestyle changes. Recovery is not a one-time procedure you can simply check off a list and consider complete. And I emphasize this daily to you folks. It is a continuous thing. Your addiction is still there, but you need to continuously educate yourself on how to live with it. It is a systematic process you will contend with for the rest of your life. Understanding that from the very beginning of your recovery may help you keep the entire process in perspective. Years after you become clean, you will always deal with potential issues. Knowing which phase of your recovery you may be in, along with possible relapse concerns for each phase, can enable you to smoothly transition from one phase to another, as well as to live clean, productive, and have a healthy future. As always, you have an action plan to achieve your goal. It's action plan, goal, achievement. Your action plan to start with is early recovery, phase 1. Continue into middle recovery, phase 2. Continue into later recovery, phase 3. This is not merely a 1 week process for each phase. We are talking from early recovery to later recovery. It could be a span of 5 to 10 years. I am probably in between early recovery and middle recovery. Later recovery is way down the road for me, folks. So today, October 8, 2014, is your first day that you choose to take your life back and to start a new chapter in your book of life, which we're going to discuss now. A new chapter which will include that I am finally admitting I have a problem. Then let today, October 8th, 2014, be a new day in the rest of your life. We always speak during every video about our book of life. Our book starts at birth and it ends whenever we end as a human ourselves. Whenever God decides to take us from earth, that is that's the end of your book of life. Your beginning was at birth. For the first 17 to 18 years, your parents and you together started writing your chapters in your book of life. Each chapter is for 1 year of lifetime. So for the first 17 to 18 chapters, you and your parents wrote your book of life. Those chapters should have included love, respect, and compassion and emotion. They should have included that. Those chapters should never have included because your parents were either drinking or smoking or using profanity or being physically abused or abusive. Those chapters should never be in your beginning of your book of life. Then at 17 and 18, you're going to leave. Possibly to start a full-time job, possibly to go to college, possibly to go into the military. That's when you take over writing your chapters in your book of life. If your chapters were like mine, from that point on, which included a little bit of alcohol and gradually built up to hitting rock bottom in 2013. So from 1979, which was where I took over my own book of life, my own chapters I started writing, all the way to 2013, gradually the alcoholism built up. So by the time I hit 2013, I was up to 10 to 15 shots of vodka a day, and that is finally when I hit rock bottom. Where are you in your book of life today? What chapter are you on? And does that chapter include alcoholism or drug abuse? And if so, is today, October 8th, 2014, the time where you finally say, I've had it, I need help, I can't run my own life? Because if that's the case, then what you need to do is 2 things. It is the first thing which you just said that you were doing, which is stop denying that you have a problem. And then the second thing you need to do is to reach up to your higher power and ask for guidance and direction. Remember, you can have God in your life without addiction, but you can't battle addiction without having God to help. Because obviously you have come to a point in your life that you have now shown yourself and others that you can't control your own life. Because if you've hit rock bottom, you have finally said, I can't do this anymore. I need help. So there are two entities that you need help from. The first entity would be from your higher power, from God, and the second entity would be from a structured plan on your addiction recovery. Those structured plans come in many different formats. AA is one arena that you can go into. AA has been around since, AA has been around since 1936 and have helped millions of people. Millions. They have a structured program that has 12 steps. When you first go to AA, you can start with the 90 days and 90 meetings. That is, from hitting rock bottom, they expect you to do 90 meetings in 90 days. Each meeting is approximately an hour. I did try AA for about 4 to 5 meetings. I just felt I needed to be more actively involved. In anything I've ever done in life, folks, I always had to be actively involved. I cannot just sit and listen to other people's stories from the past. I mean, I could, but it's not productive for me. So back in 2013, I started thinking, what can I do to make my own battle with addiction and recovery not only more constructive for me, but also fun. And that's when I came up with clearviews.info, which is a website. It all started there. That is when I planted the seed into the ground. And any seed can only grow with water or with sunshine. So what I did is I continuously fed things onto that website. I continuously educated myself daily. I continuously did things to improve my battle with addiction. Those continuous things equals water and sunshine to the seed I already planted, and that seed grew into a small plant and kept growing and growing and growing. And here we are today, October 8, 2014. I now have the 2 websites. I have an open group and I have 2 separate pages on Facebook. I do these videos. I do live interviews. And all that started with the thought of doing something more than what AA could offer me. And that all has been very successful for my own recovery journey. And those methods can help you. Now you can do AA and my method. You can do my method and AA. You can do either one of them, or you can do a different method. It all comes down to whatever works for you, because the ultimate goal for all of us is to stay sober and is a future in sobriety. That's the ultimate goal for all of us. So it doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you don't drink, as long as you don't do drugs, as long as you stay sober, and as long as you go out and you witness to other people on how to battle addiction. Because if you don't help someone else and you just stay secluded in your house and try to do it on your own, you will find that it's not going to work. Now let's just put on the other side, if you don't want to help people with your addiction, help people in general, because it does build up your self-esteem. But I am telling you, when you talk to people about your addiction and their addiction, when 2 heads come together, it makes more productive results. It gives you better results. Not only that, but it opens up a whole new world for you. There's a reason that AA has the sponsor program, and that is because they want somebody that's further into their recovery to help you. And the same goes for you. Once you, let's say you're at the going from the early recovery, phase 1 into phase 2, at this point you should be able to go out there and help people that are first starting in recovery phases. In other words, they're first starting, that they just became sober a week or 2 ago. At this point, if you're going into middle recovery, you should be able to help them. Help them with your experiences. Help them with whatever educational knowledge you have picked up along the road of recovery. These 150 videos that I have done have given me so much information for myself by giving it to you. So we are, in fact, a team. When I help you, I help me, and vice versa. And you should carry this on to the next people in your life. It should not stop with this video and then you just watch the video and that's that. You should carry this information, you should carry this message today or any other of my videos on to the next person. My messages get carried on to Dr. Luis Gonzalez daily. My message gets carried on to YouTube, Google, wherever else it gets posted, it gets carried on. And it's not on just a national level, it's on an international level. I get viewers from all over the globe. And that is because it doesn't just stop with me, because when I do these videos, I know for a fact there are people that share my videos to whoever they share it with. It is like the paper doll reaction, hand in hand. We just need to all, as a community, talk about our lessons so we can empower addiction recovery. That is how you need to go. So today, October 8th, 2014, is a new chapter you want to write in your book. And now you are ready, and you have now admitted that you have a problem, and you are ready to reach out to your higher power. And now you have decided, should I go to AA? Should I go to use Ralph's method or any other method, or possibly check into a treatment center? It is now where you need to set up an action plan for the future. It is now when you need to start with your early recovery, phase 1. And we're going to recap on phase 1 now, because this might directly concern you if you are ready today. While you are in phase 1 of your recovery, phase 1, your primary goal is to abstain from any drugs or alcohol and other chemicals. And that merely means, if you are ready today, your goal in phase 1, to start phase 1, is to keep away, and I repeat, keep away from any alcohol, drugs, or any chemicals whatsoever. That is your goal starting right now. You need to eliminate drugs, alcohol, and chemicals. This phase will typically begin with some sort of detoxification. What does that mean? The first probably 48 hours to a week are going to be the hardest for you. You will be tempted. You will possibly have some issues with your body reacting, not having that alcohol. And you will possibly even feel that you have to have the alcohol, but you need to be stronger than the temptation itself. Because if you give in to the temptation, you will never, ever complete phase 1. While you may attempt to detox on your own, you may be safer if you approach it from an inpatient process where you're able to receive medical assistance. What that basically means is that if you feel that checking yourself into an inpatient detox center is more beneficial for you, go ahead and do that. It all depends on how and what stage of addiction you're in, how much you've had, and how strong your mind is. I, thank God, was able to do it without having to check in anywhere. During this phase, you will spend time either in inpatient or outpatient rehabilitation. You must understand the basics of addiction and its effects, particularly as it relates to you. Do as much research daily, and I'm not saying just today, I'm saying daily. Do as much research. I will tell you, if you just go to YouTube and look at my videos, just type in my name, about 150 videos will pop up. Even if you only watched one video once a week, that would give you a lot of information. I would appreciate if you watched one a day. However, that is a lot of videos to watch. You got to remember, if you watched one of my videos once a day, you would be covered for almost 4 months straight of education and action plan on how to live with your addiction. Almost 4 months worth. And as you're watching one a day, I'm producing one a day, except for 2 days a week. So you will never ever run out of material coming from me. Feelings, emotions, stresses, and a variety of other behaviors may prompt your addiction. So you need to control your feelings, your temptations. You need to watch out for stresses and triggers, and you need to learn how to live with them. You will need to learn your triggers so you know how to handle these situations as you move into other stages of your recovery. While you are in the midst of this phase, your greatest risk of having a relapse may be due to the lack of developing strong social recovery skills, meaning be around people that are going through recovery. Utilize my videos. If you're an AA, make sure that you are actively involved. When you look for a sponsor, I just want to give you advice on that. You have no reason not to change sponsors if you feel that you're not comfortable with your sponsor. I myself I had two separate sponsors, and to be quite honest with you, the first one was more as a tag along type of friendship type of thing, wasn't even a sponsor, and the second one was more concerned with himself than with me. A sponsor has to be a person that is very concerned about you and your addiction recovery. That's what a sponsor is supposed to do. You can text me at 631-599-0218 at any time to talk about this. I am not the most experienced person in addiction recovery, but at my stage and with my information I have been able to read and do all these videos, I have now jumped about 2 years further into my addiction recovery because of these videos, because I get to do these videos. I have educated myself from the material to do these videos. So I do have a lot to offer if you need to talk. But if you go to AA and you get a sponsor and you don't feel good with a sponsor, there is no reason that you cannot let that sponsor know that you would like to try a different sponsor. Because if you don't feel comfortable with your sponsor, that is a sure sign of a trigger that you might have a relapse. Your sponsor needs to concentrate on you 100%. If your sponsor has maybe 5 or 10 people that he's sponsoring, he or she cannot give you enough time. Try to find a sponsor that only has 1 or 2 people. Let's go right into middle recovery, phase 2. Many individuals assume that once they get clean, they will be able to live a sober life. Not true. The analogy here is that even though you take a shower and you wash yourself with soap, you need to continuously take showers and wash yourself with soap. As time goes on, as life goes on. The same analogy stays with sobriety. Just because you're clean and sober today does not mean you're going to be clean and sober tomorrow unless you educate yourself continuously, unless you constantly think about your addiction and how to make your life in recovery a smooth transition. Unfortunately, getting clean is only stage 1 of recovery. The second phase, middle recovery, is actually learning to live sober. That's what I just said. This phase is about understanding the balance between healthy living, sobriety, and enjoying life. You need to balance those 3 things. The healthy living is certainly, if you're sober right now, you've certainly given that priority, because not consuming alcohol and drugs is certainly promoting a healthy living. But you need to start enjoying life again, because I can guarantee you when you were drinking or doing drugs, your life couldn't have been too happy, and the only time it was happy is while you were intoxicated, and that was just a makeshift happiness. Part of the balance is learning how to face and handle stresses in your life while remaining clean and sober. You should be able to know if a stressor comes on, have an action plan on how to live with that stressor, how to conquer that stressor. And the one way not to conquer that stressor is consuming alcohol and or drugs. Through this phase, you will benefit from continuing regular counseling or group sessions or continual education like I do. This may be the phase where you put the recovery plan you created in rehab into action. Whatever you have learned during AA, your rehab center, or what you're learning from me, start utilizing that in your own home, in your own life. You will also spend time repairing relationships with friends and family that you may have damaged while you were battling addiction. And I want to give you advice. There is absolutely the best advice would be to go ahead and try to fix as many of these things you can, but you need to be careful and walk on eggshells on who you're going to make amends with, because if you're opening a wound from many years ago, it might come back to bite you in the butt. Additionally, you will work to re-enter society as a positive and productive citizen. Positive would be to stay away from the negative surroundings. Negative people in your life will only bring negative results. Positive people in your life will bring you positive results. When you let the sun into your heart and your home, that is positive. One of the main causes of relapse you will need to be most aware of during this phase is managing relationships. And if you destroyed your relationships along the way, due to your battling addiction. It is the relationship that you're in right now that, if that one was damaged, that's the most important one that you need to work on, because the other ones are already broken, they're gone. You can work on them by all means. Be careful about who you talk to and how you talk to them. Don't open up old wounds. But if you have a relationship that you have damaged along your battling of addiction, that you're still in, hanging on by a thread, it is that relationship that needs utmost attention. Everything else can wait on standby. If that relationship is hanging by a thread, you need to work on that one today. And when you talk to the person in that relationship and things are not going the way you that you want it to, do not have a relapse because of it. Work as best as you can on repairing that relationship. And folks, sometimes it is beyond workable or beyond repair. It is then you need to decide, maybe it's better for you to move on, because you are a new you with a new plan in life. And if an old relationship or a present relationship is going to keep you back from recovery, maybe it's time to let go of that relationship, because you cannot afford to have somebody drag you back into a relapse. You can't afford that, because the next time might be an overdose. Let's go into the last, which is later recovery, phase 3. This is easily the most overlooked phase, but is just as critical as the other two phases. During this time, your primary goal is clean, healthy, and satisfied living, arriving at a place in life where you feel comfortably free, peaceful, and have true enjoyment of life. At this point, you have become an experienced person living with addiction. You have learned how to live with it, but you need to always continuously educate yourself, and you need to not be over cocky about it. You may find yourself moving into a place where you rely on counseling and group sessions at less frequent levels. Do not let that happen. Even after all this time that I've been battling addiction, I could very easily have stopped doing videos, maybe just do 1 or 2 a week. Even with my hectic schedule, and I mean hectic, I still find time to do these videos. It might be like today, where I got up at 6 in the morning because I don't have to technically start my job until 9 to set up, to do my 1-hour video, and then to edit and get it done all before 9 o'clock. And why is that? Because I need to continuously educate myself with addiction recovery. There is going to be a time in the future, I'm sure, where I might miss a day or two because I can't control that, like if I'm on vacation or something. But as long as I can make the time somehow, my priority each and every day is to make sure that I educate myself by educating you. You will be able to identify potential behaviors and triggers well before you become tempted or it becomes an issue. You need to learn that, and you should have learned that by now in phase 3. Relapse will still be a potential problem, as it always will be. However, your largest relapse concern will now be from unresolved issues or avoidance. That is my point. If you have a relationship that's hanging on to a thread because of the past, if that relationship is possibly going to cause you to have a relapse, because no matter what you have done since you became sober to try to fix this, and the person that you're with is constantly going to bring you down, it is time for you to let go and move on if you want to live longer, if you want to live sober, because this person will drag you down for you to possibly have a relapse. You have come all this way to phase 3 not to be pulled down by any individual whatsoever. It is hard enough for you to control your own life. You can't control another person's life. Recovery is not a one-time procedure you can simply check off on the list and consider it complete. It is a daily, 24-hour at a time checklist that you need to check off for the rest of your life. It is a systematic process you will contend with for the rest of your life, understanding that from the beginning of your recovery may help you keep the entire prospect in perspective. Years after you become clean, you will always deal with the potential issues, knowing which phase of your recovery you may be in, along the possible relapse concern. for each phase can enable you to smoothly transition from one phase to another, as well as live a clean, productive, and healthy and positive future. That is what you need to do. You need to continuously educate yourself. You cannot just sit back. Just because you've made it to phase 3, do not become cocky about it. At this phase, you should be relaxed in your relationships. You should be relaxed in your recovery. You should be relaxed with addiction plans. You should be going to any program that you feel that you need to utilize and conquer your addiction or your daily living with addiction at this phase. If at phase 3 you are finding yourself problems dealing with phase 3, go back to phase 2 and start again. But I will tell you, if you, for some reason, end up in a relapse, you are going to go back even before phase 1. And in phase 3, there should be no concern for a relapse for you. If there is, you need to go back to phase 2. You need to then figure out what is causing you to have these triggers and stressors to possibly cause you to have a relapse. In phase 3, you should be able to go into Applebee's. You should be able to go into a liquor shop with a person that might be buying liquor and not be tempted to get some for yourself. The temptation will always be in the back of your mind, but it shouldn't be to a point where you're standing in front of the shelf at a liquor shop and contemplating, should I or shouldn't you? You should never get to the point where you have to decide, because at this point in phase 3, your decision was made up already in phase 2, even dating back to phase 1. So those are the 3 phases. You have early recovery, phase 1, middle recovery is phase 2, and later recovery is phase 3. Those are the phases. We have talked about the chapters in your book of life. We'll just address how to be a role model. Remember, we talked about the chapters in the book of life, and I said these 4 things have to be in the chapters of your children from 0 to 17, which is love, respect, compassion, and emotion. These 4 things should never be in your children's book of life in the first 17 chapters. You smoking in front of them, you drinking in front of them, you using profanity in front of them, and you abusing anyone anywhere. Those should never be. You need to be a role model. Remember, your children look at you as a role model, as a hero, and whatever you do, your children automatically are going to think it's okay for you to do that. So if you drink in front of them, they're going to think it's okay for them to go and drink. If you smoke in front of them, they're going to think it's okay for them to smoke. If you use that profanity, they're going to think it's okay to use profanity. And if you physically abuse your spouse or your partner, they're going to think it's okay to go to school and bully people around. If you are physically abusing someone, you need to go and seek therapy and counseling. You really do. And if you're the victim being abused by someone in your home, you need to call the authorities. I tell you this, and I'll tell you again, it is simply better to call the authorities and have your loved one taken out in handcuffs, and possibly to get counseling and therapy and coming home one day again as a better person, than for the authorities to come and take you out in a body bag, because that is irreversible. You will never come home again. So you need to stop it now. If you're being abused, call the authorities, because even a slap here and a punch there eventually might escalate to a knife or a gun, and then it's too late. So those are the issues with the chapters in the book of life. Become the right role model today. Sober up today. Get clean today. Take your life back today, October 8, 2014. You know the different methods you can utilize. You have AA, you have my methods, you have the rehab and treatment centers, and there are many other methods. But you know that no matter what method you pick, you need to include your higher power. You need to include your higher power. The analogy I like to also use is that when we go to bed at night, we put our slippers, shoes, sneakers at the edge of our bed. Why not push it under your bed tonight? And you might ask me, why would I want to do that? Because then when you wake up in the morning, You need to go on your knees to pull your slipper, shoes, or sneakers from underneath your bed. And while you're on your knees, why not pray to God and say thank you for letting you live another day on this beautiful earth? Because as you're breathing, somebody else stops breathing somewhere on this earth. They took their last breath. As you blink your eyes, somebody just closed their eyes for the last time somewhere on this earth. So each and every day is a gift from God for you to be on this earth. And part of being not only a good role model, but a well-balanced human is to start sharing some of your possessions. If you have extra things, why not share them with people that need? Like if your neighbor needs something, why not share it with your neighbor? If your family member needs something and you have it, why not share it with them? You came to this earth with nothing, and that's how you're going to leave. So if you think by holding on to your personal possessions that it's going to come with you, it's not. The analogy I like to use is when you die and your coffin is loaded into a hearse and heading to your final resting place, your personal possessions are not going to be loaded into a U-Haul truck and following that hearse, because your personal possessions are not going to come with you. Matter of fact, unless you left explicit directions what to do with that, people are probably going to fight over it. So why not start sharing that? Because when you help other people, you will build your self-esteem up, you will feel better about yourself. And remember, when you do good in life, good comes back. But if you do bad in life, bad comes back. It's basic karma. You have all these things that we just spoke about, and all those things will create a well-balanced human. So why not start today, October 8th, 2014, reach out to someone and tell them that I am done with using drugs, I am done with drinking alcohol. Reach out to someone. You can text me, 631-599-0218. You can call me, 844-405-HELP. You can reach out to Dr. Luis Gonzalez at 844-414-8444. Look at us as your bridge from addiction to recovery. Let one of us help you. And if you don't want one of us, there are millions of other addiction recovery coaches out there. Reach out to one of us, but more importantly, reach out to God. Ask Him for guidance and direction. And starting today, also October 8th, 2014, let the sun shine into your heart and your home, and I guarantee you will get nothing but positive results. If you eliminate the darkness, which I compare to people that are negative, you will no longer get any more negative results if you eliminate them. And when I say eliminate them, I'm just saying avoid them. The people that look for problems, that criticize other people, are negative. You should only surround yourself with positive people. And remember, a sober today will definitely make a better tomorrow. And if you believe it here, I guarantee it will become clear now. Today is October 8th. I hope God keeps us all around for another video for October 9th. And I hope you have a great day, but more importantly, I hope you have a sober day. And God bless you. Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs, and welcome to Take Your Life Back. Folks, if somebody had to paint a picture of your image, what would it look like?
morning. Welcome to Take Your Life Back. Today's feature presentation is how to come back after a relapse. So grab your popcorn, grab your soda.
Created using Powtoon.